Hello, my name is Kobe Jones. I'm from Guthrie. Today I'll be talking about three specific leg traps: the conibeer trap, the snare trap, and the leg trap. Also remember that it is always good for you to have extra scent and lures for your animals to get to your locations. The first trap I will be talking about is a leg trap, which we have here it's a stake, which will be also identified in the leg trap. It is a very common trap many educated trappers and even myself as a high schooler use today. It gives you the efficiency to run by your traps in the mornings and also allowing you to leave your varmint in the trap without having to worry if the animal's going to be running off, because you'll have this stake here, which is going to allow the animal, if he runs off, to drag anything such as trees or weeds or anything, stopping the varmint in its tracks. I will give you more reasons and the effectiveness of you having to use a drag or even a stake on the next two traps. Maybe this visual aid will help you see how the drag and the leg trap work together. This is an older chain and drag, such as old bear hunters and even mountain lion hunters use today, because due to the fact of the chain being heavy and the drag, it slows the mountain lion down and either the bear, because of course the bear and grizzly and the lion are way bigger than most animals around these parts. Here I have a leg trap. Made by a New House company. Many people around our area use leg traps made by New House, or most commonly a Victor trap. Both traps are with the same purpose, but just depends on the price range you're willing to spend. Most of this time, the money you spend on any object is more reliable on the amount you spend. Now that I have educated you with the leg trap, I will describe you the snare trap. This is a snare trap. The leg trap is a trap that catches a varmint, keeping it in one location but leaving it alive. The snare trap is both of these combined, leaving the varmint stationary due to the fact of the trap cutting off the air circulation of the animal. With this trap, you don't have to go through the step of execution, which some people don't prefer. These traps are very cheap, to be honest with you, due to the fact of it being a piece of cable and just a simple lock. Here we have the lock button and the washer, which if you have animals head in there and it pulls down, taking off the execution of the animal's air. Here's another visual aid of letting you see the snare trap. It is used and its technique. For the most part, the snare can be easily made if you have the right material and you know what you're doing. It is a simple task allowing you to make a lot of money in the fur company. Here I have found a couple pictures of the specific snares that are used. Most commonly used on fences and even culverts on dirt roads. The snare trap is a very easy technique, keeping the varmint's population down. For the leg trap and snare trap, both I have used personally, but I have never used a conibeer trap. This is conibeer trap. Conibeer traps, this type is used more on the plains or even down toward the Antarctic, where the varmints are a lot bigger, such as beavers, weasels, otters, etc. Here we have an otter. This trap is used for a technique you probably have never heard of. It is used to break the varmint's back, making the varmints stay still, such as the leg trap and the snare trap. The conibeer trap is much like the leg trap, allowing the varmint to stay alive but leaving them in the location they are due to the stake. The stake is any type of material you would want to use, allowing you to connect your trap and hammering it into the ground. This is the way the varmint cannot take off with your trap. I have researched this trap and I have provided you with the following pictures. Here is a picture of the conibeer trap. You can see it usually stands up when it's open, and when the animal walks through it, it smashes it, and of course smashes the animal's back, not letting it go anywhere. This trap would probably be the most dangerous trap to set due to the springs being so tight, making the pressure on the trap reliable and for the most part hair triggered. Hair triggered meaning anything touching the trap will be there the next morning with the effectiveness of having a broke back varmint of some sort. Hopefully, I have educated you enough with the three most common traps today. The leg trap, snare trap, and conibeer are all used for the same purposes. All trapping techniques, all stimulants of catching a varmint with the accuracy of getting a fur and the carcass, but all can be used in different forms, ways, and actions. Also, see this drag right here, you want your chain to be long enough, because the more chain you have, the more weeds and everything the varmint gets. Remember that without trapping the day in our society, our nation would have the furs, would not have the furs and material we have in the economy, and our income would be enormously high. Thank you for your patience.